How do you do, and welcome back. We are playing some more Peglin today. And today is the day that I will share with you the story in Freeport from our cruise. So our cruise had two different island destinations, Nassau or Nassau, however you pronounce it. I think there was a comment correcting me saying it's pronounced Nassau with that long A sound, but unless I read the comment wrong, which very well could have been the case as well. But our other island we went to was Freeport, and of course, whenever Freeport Island Day came, I still was not feeling the greatest. So you know, and those of you that don't know, have not seen or heard yet, I got sick on my lovely cruise, and I've been sick since. I'm finally feeling better from it, so it is nice that I am finally feeling better, and I can no longer take I don't think I want any of these. Bully ball would be cool if we had orbs that did self-damage already. I think that would be the only thing that would make the bully ball better, or bully ball worth picking up right now. Just because if we pick the bully ball up and then we try to find orbs that deal damage to ourselves, they're not always given, and they are far in between when they are provided to us. But yes, I got horribly sick on my cruise to the Bahamas last week, and I got sick on Tuesday. We ported out on Monday, believe it or not, and I got sick on the Tuesday, and so I really was sick the entire time. So that is why I'm impressed that I'm just now feeling better whenever it's Wednesday. So it's, I guess, a week and one day. Here's another bully ball. A stone. Ooh, that sounds pretty nice. So a week and one day, I'm finally feeling better. I still have that annoying cough if I take a deep breath or something, but other than that, we are doing just swimmingly. I have to go for this elite if I want both these free relics. Yeah, we'll probably just go left right here. Solidify more of a chance to get to him. I think we want to leave the altar, yeah. We don't have anything we want to duplicate at this altar. And I think I want to go right again just to solidify the fact that we're getting that for sure. The free relics, at least. Shake tree, get egg, move on. So, in Freeport, well, same with Nassau, same with that. Whenever we went to that island, we wanted to find a pharmacy so I can get some medications, but unfortunately that pharmacy did not have any allergy medication, which I was hoping it was just allergies that were acting up, and that's would be the fix to all of my issues and problems. Unfortunate placement of that. Very fortunate placement of that, though. But you're not gonna do near enough damage. Did a decent amount of work, but honestly, 64 is not bad. Skipping you, going down to hit this crit. Oh, you hit everything but the crits. Don't you just love that? But so the whole reason for Freeport was to find a pharmacy that has allergy medication. That was our one and only goal whenever we got off the ship, because neither one of us really wanted to do any of the touristy stuff. Like, neither one of us want to shop, and that seemed like all Freeport was. But if you've ever been to Freeport, and if you haven't, whenever you get to the Freeport port, it is far away from the city of Freeport. And my buddy and I, we're aware that in order to get to the city, there was a bunch of vans there, and people trying to get you to ride in their vans. They'll take you up into the city and whatnot for a fee or for a price of some sort. And so, my buddy and I were too cheap for that. We don't need to have to pay that money to have someone take us into town. We looked at a map because my lovely phone had service, since I have T-Mobile, and T-Mobile has service in I guess multiple whatever across country lines, I guess it's the best way to say it, I think. That one spot, this one very annoying spot. Oh, beautiful hit. I think we want to go here. Yeah, we're gonna take a few bits of damage here, but he is 10% blind. He took himself out. Finally an upgrade, but we'll rather heal than upgrade. I think I'll take Refreshing Punch instead. And so we were too cheap to pay for any of these vans. We pulled out my phone, looked at a map, looked at where Freeport is, and you know what? On a phone and looking at a map on the phone, it doesn't look too far. And we came up with the beautiful idea of walking it. We could just walk. We'll make it. We're young, we're spry. We can walk there. And so our journeys began walking to old Freeport, downtown Freeport. And I was the navigator because it was my phone. And so I was in charge of making sure we were going the right way, which it was very simple. It's one road that takes you all the way into town. But there's two different Freeports. There's Freeport West, and then there's the city of Freeport. And I focused heavily on Freeport West because Freeport West was closer. All we needed was a pharmacy. We didn't need the big city. That's all we needed. And so I guided us to Freeport West. We started walking, and of course in Freeport this day, it's a rainy day. It was a very rainy, just humid, hot, nasty day, and we walked it. And as we were walking, I of course have the runniest of noses. I knew it was supposed to be rainy, and so I tried to dress accordingly, and I wore pants, and I wore a baseball tee. So that's a long sleeve shirt, but the sleeves only go to about halfway through your forearm. And then I brought a vest, like a little vest to keep my shirt dry, so I had some kind of dry touching my skin, not just a drenched shirt if it gets rained on. It was my thought process, at least. And so we begin our walk. We begin our journey. And of course, we began our journey in the rain. So my outfit seemed like a pretty good, wise decision. And it was early on in the day as well. So it's not like it's middle of the day, 88 degrees. Because that's about how hot it got. But that's not how it started for me. And partway through our journey, I realized how big of a mistake I made with my long sleeves. I only had a limited amount of tissues in my pocket because I didn't realize how far of a walk it was. We probably walked for about a mile and a half, and then a black van, one of the vans that pick the cruise riders up at the port to take them to town, drove past us, and he stopped and he says, "Where are you guys heading?" Well, we said, "We're going to Freeport." And he said, "You'll never make it." And my buddy then discussed with him saying, "You want to bet?" Because I tell you what, this friend, I don't know if you guys have a friend like this, but they are very monotone. I don't think pick up well on social cues sometimes, and it seemed very aggressive the way he was responding to him, and it made me very uncomfortable throughout the process. I was already not feeling good, and this guys they're talking about how much how the guy in the van was telling us how horrible of a walk it's gonna be and how long it is and how we're not gonna make it. And then my buddy's sitting there like, "You want to bet?" "Yeah, we are. We got good legs. You want to bet?" And then ultimately the guy gave up on us and says, "Best of luck. You'll never make it." Waves at us, and drives on. He said he was offering us a ride for $20 is how much he was, and my buddy and I weren't gonna pay the $20 back there. Why would we pay it whenever we've made it so far down the road? Little did we know we'd even make it halfway yet. But that's beside the point. Why am I not getting points for this hit? See? I'm not getting anything on this one. Weird. Will I get it now? It must have had an invisible shield on it. Nice hit. Why are my crits so strong? Oh, the refresh. So we are lacking in damage heavily here. If I were to be completely honest with you, I'm not too pleased with it. My apologies, I do still have kind of a little scruffle throat. Little scruffles in my throat, as they say. So, as I was saying, our journey continued. And I was held on by tissues is what I was holding on by, because I'm sweating so profusely at this time. The temperature picked up, the rain stopped, clouds disappeared. I took my vest off, put it over my head just to block the sun, because we didn't put any sunblock on today, and I was determined not to get a single sunburn this whole trip. And so I sacrificed my little sweater, not sweater, but vest for it. And my vest did very well. I did not get a sunburn from it. So that was very nice. But we continued our journey on. We got to probably the 2.5 to 3 mile marker, probably about 3 mile marker in our walk. This is a while into our walk, and we came across the first gas station. And we're used to gas stations having everything you need. What is your problem, Oakley? What is going on? Whoa, Oakley, what's up? Okay, I'm coming. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I have no idea what Miss Oakley's problem was. She saw something outside, got excited. The thing about Miss Oakley is when she's excited, she doesn't bark. She does that, what you just heard. And it sounds like she's getting hurt or something's happening to her. And so it freaks me out every single time she does it. But it's every time she just gets excited with something outside. So if the doorbell rings, that's what you hear. My fiance wanted Oakley, since Oakley is a German Shepherd. She wanted Oakley to be kind of like a guard dog. Fierce, brave, scares anyone off that might be ill intent. But when that doorbell rings, that is what they hear. I don't know if that will necessarily scare off anyone. It probably would ward someone to call what is it, animal control? Because they might have a dying cat in the house. But alright, I'm back again. Miss Oakley is my bane. But yes, that's what they hear every time she gets excited. Someone's at the door, no barks, no hike up in the little fair. I'll give you the relic. I'll give you the egg for the cake. I'll take that exchange. Fair exchange for fair work. Decoy orbs, okay as well. But we get to this, we get to the gas station, back to Freeport. We get to the gas station, we're walking through this gas station trying to find any medications. They had no medications on the shelves. They had a big old plexiglass glass where the cashier sits, and they had their little office space there. And they had some what looked like medications back behind it, but all it was like those, what are those, emergency or those kind of drinks packs that you would put in your drink, those little packets that you'd put in like a bottle of water and a glass of water, and you stir it up, mix it in to your drink, and then you drink it to get your vitamins or get the energy for the day or something. That's all that they had there. And so we asked if they had anything for allergies, and they pulled one of those out, and it wasn't, we said that wasn't what we needed, and we went on our way back on the street, heading east, northeast, I guess, is the direction we were heading. And so it was a big scratch off the list on that first gas station. And I don't know if any of you guys know, but in the Bahamas, are you allowed to pump your own gas? Because they had people at every gas pump waiting for someone to pull in. There wasn't just one worker working the gas pumps. They had, this place had 2 gas pumps, and they had 2 workers out there waiting at those gas pumps. And so I was kind of curious if it's similar to the state of Oregon. I think in the state of Oregon, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken, so sorry if I have mistaken that, but that was my understanding. Maybe it's a folktale, I don't know. But it's kind of something that I was curious about curious and saw whenever I was there, but didn't think much of it at the time since I was busy trying not to make everyone think I have COVID. And so then I would have been exiled and not allowed back on the ship, and then I would be living in the Bahamas forever, and that would have been my life. But I digress a little bit. A powder collector is not bad. We'll go against the wall. What was I saying? So we're back on the road at this time. About 3 miles into our walk. We're just slaving away, working, living our best lives, just trying to make trying to find allergy medication. That's it. That was our only tasks. just similar to Nassau or Nassau, Nass. I don't know. I give up saying it. I'll call it what they called it on the cruise, NASA. It's NASA. And so, we continue on. I hike my sweater back over my head, and I just have some tissues in my hand ready to go. I have a bottle of water in my sweater jacket. I mean, not sweater jacket, but my vest jacket, vest pocket. Sorry, vest pocket. And we're good. My water is warm at this time, by the way, but any water is good water whenever you're on a long venture like that, as some of you may know that have experienced similar situations. But we continue on, and there's nothing at all to see. All the shrubs on the side of the street have grown up, so there's no more breeze from the ocean, no nothing. There's trash all over the side of the road. And as we're walking, we saw something on the side of the road. It looked like a little box, and it looked like a very familiar box. And the reason it looked familiar is because it was a 9mm Winchester box of like 500 rounds or 300 rounds of it that we thought was interesting. And then we started realizing, we are kind of out in the middle of nowhere of Freeport. We're not even seeing the vans drive down the road anymore that we're on. It's probably away from all the tourist area. We're probably in a little bit more of a risky part of the place. But it didn't deter us. We continued trucking on because at this point, we probably hit halfway. About the 3-mile mark was the halfway. And so we figured, let's just keep going. Nothing's gonna happen. And so we continued our journey on. I keep getting sidetracked with how well our ball's doing. It looks like we're gonna easily do this. Yeah, easy peasy. Take us one last refresh. Guess we can try Sapper Sack. We died to red bombs anyway, so might as well do it. Red bombs will kill us either way. So we truck on, came up to the next gas station. And at this gas station, we go in. Well, we just get into the parking lot. As we get into the parking lot, my nose starts bleeding profusely out my right nostril. And so I was not about to go inside this gas station with a bloody nose, with a tissue shoved up halfway up my nose with blood coming out or soaked in it. And so instead, my buddy went in for me. I stayed outside just putzing around, trying to make sure this bloody nose stays at bay. And he's in there for probably a good 10-15 minutes. And then he finally comes out. They have no allergy medications, but they did refer us to the the bus stop that was right across the street. And they said the bus cost about $1.25. Yeah, $1.25 is what the guy behind the desk said. And whenever my buddy came out, he said, "Hey, the bus stop is right here. It costs $1.25. Then one of the workers that work at the gas pump, he says, "No, bus ticket's $1.50. Didn't think much of it. We thanked him for giving us the information, and then we powered our way straight across the street into this bus stop. This bus stop had a guy sitting in it, and it looks like he was sitting there for a while, but I don't know. He didn't say a word to us the entire time we were there. And as we're sitting there at the bus stop, we decided to make a few phone calls. Might as well, since we're not doing anything, we can make a few phone calls. And as we're finishing up all of our phone calls, this like run down looking Hyundai came up. A very tiny looking car, but it rolls straight up to us. And it says, "Where are you guys going?" Talking to me and my buddy, since I assume since we look like we don't belong, like aren't usually there. We don't look like everyone else that's in the Bahamas. So he asked us where we're heading, and we said we're heading to Freeport. And he says $5 for a ride. And I was more than happy just sitting. Oh no, I missed. I was more than happy just sitting there waiting for that bus to come over and spending the $1.50 for a bus ticket. And we said, "Hey, $5 a bus ticket's worth $1.50." This guy in the car says a bus ticket costs $1.75. And so whoever's right, I don't know. But all I know is we ultimately ended up getting inside this guy's sketchy car. And my buddy rode in the front seat, I rode in the back seat right behind the guy, because I think I read it somewhere or heard it somewhere that safety in a car or like an Uber or something, always ride behind the driver, because they can't really, you have more of an advantage there than they do over you. So that was kind of my thought process there, was okay, my buddy's in the front, I'm in the back, any shenanigans happens, we'll be fine. And so in our ride, we started just riding in. This guy's talking to us pretty nonchalantly, and he says he's an Uber driver. But then we started asking him, "So where's all your Uber information? And doesn't Uber have like a certain rules and regulations on how new your car has to be or how old your car has to be and stuff for it?" He says he like blew our questions off and just says he's an Uber driver. And so they kind of got a little sketchy with that, but he was taking us to downtown Freeport, I guess. Because that's where we asked him to go. We said, if you can take us downtown Freeport, where all the tourists go. Because at this point, we just want to see some tourists, make sure we're in a safe spot, make sure we're on track and accounted for. But he, boom. Oh, that didn't work. He takes us all the way into town, saves us so much walking. I think we totaled walk to that bus stop for, I think it took us probably 4 miles. We walked 4 miles to get that bus stop. I'd imagine 4.5 to 5, maybe it was 5. No, it was 4. It was 4 miles. And he finally took us all the way into Freeport, and we asked, whenever he stopped, is this where all the tourists is? Because we noticed, we looked around, there's no like tourists, there's no people selling anything, it's just a strip mall, but it had all of the vans that were at the port just parked there. I assume it's where they go on lunch break or something, but I guess not, if that's where all the tourists are, is what he said. And so we just listened to him. We got out of the car. He says, "I'm an Uber driver, so if you need me, just give me a call. Do you want my cell phone number?" We took his cell phone number because I don't know why. We just took his cell phone number. Boom. Is this enough? No. Unnecessary damage getting taken. Perfect. I'll probably take the heals. Echo chamber. Who's our final boss here? QR code. kind of want echo chamber, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever one you would see. But I think it's going to be the best compounding damage giver or dealer. 2 question marks, an elite fight, 2 question marks. What's my inventory look like? All level 3s. So he drops us off in Freeport, in downtown Freeport, where supposedly all the tourists are, but I'm pretty sure after further investigation, he dropped us off indeed in downtown Freeport, but not the downtown Freeport where all the tourists go. It was legitimately downtown Freeport where he dropped us off. And so there's that aspect to it, but Doctor Orb might be helpful here, actually. It actually might be beneficial to have a Doctor Orb here with Sapper Sack if we can get it upgraded. I'll probably ditch the Dag Orb for the Doctor Orb level 2 because I don't want to lose my Doctor Orb as soon as I just grabbed it. You know what I mean? Enter the Terror. It's a free boss fight. So we asked him as soon as he drops us off, we asked, where's the nearest pharmacy? Well, that killed it in one shot. Where's the nearest pharmacy? And he says, oh, it's supermarket, like a mile down that way, he points. And so we listen to him, we get out, thank him, give him his $5, and we start walking that way. And as soon as we get that way, we found nothing of the sorts, until we found like a little convenience store. We go into the convenience store, we check out the convenience store's options. They had nothing new. It was still the same old stuff, no allergy medication. And we asked them if there's a pharmacy near, and they said the only there's a pharmacy across the street from the Burger King, and there's a Burger King back where we got dropped off is where that Burger King is. And so we backtracked all the way back to that Burger King, or towards that Burger King, trying to find this pharmacy. And as we're walking there, there's a guy that turns the corner named Samson. Samson met us, and Samson was well taken care of. Nice clean white t-shirt, good nice pants, kind of an outlier with the area that we were in. And so Samson stopped us because, of course, we were an outlier in the area that we were in too. And he says, where are you guys heading? Or are you and we said, well, we're trying to find a pharmacy. We got told there's a pharmacy up here. And Samson looks at us and says, there's no pharmacy in this area. The only pharmacy is attached to the hospital that's like 5 miles away. And Samson says, let me give you a ride. And we say, okay, because Samson looked nice and trustworthy. He had a nice, good, clean outfit on. And so we hopped in the car with old Samson. Samson drove us. And Samson told us, yeah, I don't know why he would drop you guys off there. That is one of the most dangerous areas of Freeport. But I guess what's fortunate is that it was in the daytime instead of nighttime. And so Samson saved us. He took us to the hospital to get the pharmacy. We went into the pharmacy, got my allergy medication, got out. We started walking back because we had no idea what else to do because Samson had to get back on with his day. And so we had no other ride. So we walked right back to where that Uber driver, I guess, dropped us off because there was all those vans that looked like the vans that were used at the ports. And so we walked there in hopes to be guided back to the port, get taken back to the port, pay one of the van drivers to take us back. And so whenever we got there is this guy yelling at us as we're walking up. and we noticed as soon as he started yelling at us and we saw what kind of van he had, it was our buddy that met us on the road, and he was so amazed that we actually walked it and made it where we did. I mean, we didn't tell him that we finally hitched a ride with some strange guy that pulled up next to us that wasn't even in a van. It was in just a sketchy car. But he was so amazed that we made it, and he said he's never seen anyone try to walk it before. And so we were pretty proud of ourselves being one of the first people that he's at least seen try to do that. And so ultimately we did hitch a ride back with that guy back to the port, and we made it safe and sound. But man, oh man, was it a journey. I don't think I really told the story well, and I don't think I'm telling stories too well anymore with how I've been feeling. And so maybe once I feel better, I'll be a little less rambly with it. So I do apologize. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.